Hello all, welcome again. This is the continuation session of VxWorks shared memory, and today's topic is shared message queues. If you did not subscribe to our channel, please subscribe to our channel by clicking subscribe button. Let's straight away enter into the shared message queues. Shared message queues are FIFO queues used by task to send and receive variable length messages on any of the CPUs that have access to the shared memory. They can be used either to synchronize tasks or to exchange data between tasks running on different CPUs. To use a shared message queue, a task creates the message queue and advertises its ID. A task that wants to send or receive a message with this message queue first gets the message queue's ID. It then uses this ID to access the message queue. For example, consider a typical server client scenario where a server task T1 on CPU 1 reads requests from one message queue and replies to these requests with a different message queue. Task T1 creates the request queue and advertises its ID by adding it to the name database, assigning the name request queue. If task T2 on CPU 0 wants to send a request to T1, it first gets the message queue ID by looking up the name request queue in the name database. Before sending its first request, task T2 creates a reply message queue instead of adding its ID to the database. It advertises the ID by sending it as part of the request message. When T1 receives the request from the client, it finds in the message the ID of the queue to use when replying to that client. Task T1 then sends the reply to the client by using this ID. To pass messages between tasks on different CPUs, first create the message queue by calling MSG QSM create method. This routine returns MSG underscore Q underscore ID. This ID is used for sending and receiving messages on the shared message queue. Like their local counterparts, shared message queues can send both urgent or normal priority messages. So let's see how do shared message queues and local message queues differ in several. They differ in several ways. The shared message queue task queuing order specified when a message queue is created must be FIFO. We will discuss this after getting into the two more points available. Messages cannot be sent on a shared message queue at interrupt level. This is true even in no waits mode. Shared message queues cannot be deleted. Attempts to delete a shared message queue return error and sets error to sm underscore s underscore sm obj capital lib underscore no object destroy, all underscores you can see here. Okay, to achieve optimum performances with the shared message queues, align send and receive buffers on 4-byte boundaries. So coming to the first point, like shared message queue, task queuing order specified when a message queue is created must be FIFO. Just look at this picture. Okay, task T1 and T2. Okay, the figure shows two tasks executing on different CPUs, both trying to receive a message from the same shared message queue. Okay, task 1 executes first and is put at the front of the queue because there are no messages in the message queue. Task 2, executing on a different CPU, tries to receive a message from the message queue after task 1's attempt and is put on the queue behind task 1. Okay, you can see message queue empty. You want me to zoom in? Yeah. Okay. To display the status of shared message queue as well as list of pended on the queue, the select include underscore message underscore queue underscore show for inclusion in the project facility VxWorks view and call MSG capital Q show method. Call MSG Q show. The following example displays detailed information on the shared message queue 0x7F8C21 as indicated by the second argument. So if it is 0, summary display. If it is 1, detailed display. We here will go only with the summary. So message queue show 0x that value comma 1. The detailed display is required. Value equal to 0 is equal to 0x0. The output is sent to the standard output device and looks like the following. See, you can see message queue ID, task queuing, message byte length. Here it is 128, messages max 10. So messages queued 0, receiver blocks. And apart from this, whatever is displayed, you get TID, CPU number as well as shared TCB, that is task control block. Okay. So let's get into some programmatical example. In the following code, two tasks um, executing on different CPUs are shared message queue to pass data to each other. The server task creates the request message queue, adds it to the name database and reads a message from the queue. The client task gets the SM request queue ID from the name database, creates a reply message, bundles the ID of the reply queue as a part of the message and sends the message to the server. This server gets the ID of the reply queue and uses it to send a message back to the client. The technique requires the use of network byte order conversion macros like HTONL method and NTOHL method because the numeric queue ID is passed over the network in data field. Let's see into the program in deeper. So this is the header message example.h. These are all the macros used, and we have a server.c. First let's see the server. This file contains the code for the message queue server. So these are all the include files. So server task receive and process a request from a shared message queue. So we request shared message queue and then request text and then create a shared message queue to handle request and then add newly created request message queue to the name database and then read messages from the request queue. Okay, and then process request. In this case it's simply print it. Here you can do something useful over that. Okay, then send a reply using ID specified in client's request message. So let's look back once again. So forget about this includes. Okay, let's start straight away from the server. So we request shared message queue, request text, and then create a shared message queue to handle requests. Okay, and then add newly created request message queue to name database and then read message from the request queue and then process request like this. Here in this case it is print. Okay, send a reply using ID specified in the client's request message. So reply underscore text, that is server received your request, is the text. Okay, and let's see the client.c file. So The same would be the include files. Okay. Client task sends request to server and reads reply status. Um, so request to send the server, that is p request to server, and this is of maximum of 100 characters in limit, and request message queue, that is msg queue id with some name, here in this case sm request queue id, and reply message queue, and request text, and use a dummy variable called obj type for sm name find. Okay, to find the um, to get the request id using its name, no? For that we'll use this obj type, and then buffer for server's reply, and get request queue id using its name, that is simple if condition sm name find, use if sm name find queue request ampersand and void double pointer ampersand sm request queue id, address of obj type wait forever equals to error, then return error. If any mistype is there or case sensitivity, here R is small letter, typing issue, please look over that. So create reply queue, build request and send it to the server. So here we are using HTONL, and then read reply and print it. So if message queue receive request dot reply queue id server reply, and max message length wait forever double equals to error return error, or printf client received the following message and print in the percentages format, that is server reply, and return okay. Okay, so I repeat, in the whole code, two tasks executing on different CPUs use shared message queues to pass data to each other. The server task creates the request queue message queue, adds it to the name database, and reads a message from the queue. The client task gets the SM request queue ID from the name database, creates a reply message queue, bundles the ID of the reply queue as a part of the message, and sends the message to the server. The server gets the ID of the reply queue and uses it to send a message back to the client. The technique requires the usage of network byte order conversion macros like HTONL. Here you can see we are using HTONL at request.reply QID and NTOHL because the numeric QID is passed over the network in a data field. I hope you understood this server client model which we discussed with respect to the figure I showed earlier. So please, next topic would be on, we are still at shared memory. Next topic would be on shared memory allocator. So where we will discuss shared memory system partition and user created partitions, and we will discuss about effects of shared memory partitions. For that, please kindly subscribe if you did not subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and bell icon for notifications, and share the videos if you like it. Please click the like, and thank you for your time.